When was the last time you were stuck in traffic? And I mean any kind of traffic, whether you were driving or in a car or on the New Jersey Transit. A fight between New Jersey Transit and Amtrak cost everyone because there were delays in the system so bad that they had to give out free tickets. There are hundreds of thousands of people who commute across state lines every day, which makes some of the congestion in New York a federal problem. But these commutes are some of the longest average commute times in the whole country. So on this episode of Your Voice Matters, we want to look at how traffic and congestion might play a role in this election.
Anyone here at Newark Penn Station about their experience with NJ Transit, and you'll likely get an earful. New Jersey is coming off of its second worst summer for NJ Transit performance since Governor Phil Murphy took office. The agency saw more than 1,800 cancellations from June through August, often leaving passengers stranded on hot, crowded trains or in packed train and bus stations for hours. NJ Transit often blames its partners at Amtrak, which has seen constant breakdowns along its tracks. In fact, a quarter of all cancellations this summer were due to mechanical failures. To stop the rash of cancellations plaguing commuters, the federal government is investing billions in rail infrastructure through the Gateway Project, which will most notably construct a new Hudson Tunnel. But now NJ Transit is looking to its customers to foot the bill for improvements. Fares jumped to 15% this summer, the first fare hike in nearly a decade, and those prices will rise 3% every year starting in 2025.
Because New Jersey Transit is a state-run agency, a lot of the funding needs to come and be prioritized at the state level by legislators, elected officials, because the Northeast Corridor is one of the most used rail lines in the region. It's very important.
I have the student pass, so I'm paying for this service, so I really expect it to run efficiently and on time. I'm depending on it.
There are so many people that depend on this for work, childcare. It's kind of easier for them when you're kind of sitting in an office saying, oh, well, this train has been canceled. Don't worry, another one is coming. But when you have to be at work at a certain time, or when you just work 10 hours and you're just trying to get home, that's really not any type of, make you feel better.
I think a key word is affordability, and we talked about that. Yeah. Why is that so important to this whole problem?
Yeah, I mean, people aren't seeing, like you said, the fare hikes. People aren't seeing, it's not worth it. Why are we paying more for service that isn't matching up with our needs? Everyone should have the freedom to move wherever they want to, when they want to, not to choose whether to buy groceries or to take the bus to wherever they need to go.
What has been the longest you've ever waited for a train or bus?
Delays have been probably up to 45 minutes.
An hour. 3 hours. 3 hours. But when it's a good days, and there'd be a crowd up there, it'd be so many people on the track.
Have you been stuck in those crowds that we've seen?
Yes.
And how does that affect you?
Just gotta really plan for delays in the morning, so you have to leave much earlier. But also have been late before because of these delays.
It's an infrastructure issue, the rail problems. The rail problems is an infrastructure issue between Amtrak and New Jersey Transit.
Now that you see the bridges deteriorating, you see the roads deteriorating. I mean, if you were to start this even 20 years ago, you would be spending a lot less money on infrastructure.
The problem needs to be identified, and then they need to get funding, secure funding to solve, to actually fix the problems.
What's the likelihood that we would see something like that?
It could be very likely. It's all dependent on elected officials and making sure that riders make their voice heard to elected officials, their elected officials, and showing up. They have to speak up and use their voice. The more stories that are elevated and heard, and the more that their transit horror stories are brought around, that's what's going to make a difference. And make it prioritized, make transit prioritized.
So is that the problem? It's not a priority. It seems
Yes.
like it's been education,
Yes.
it's been health, right? We know with COVID,
Yeah.
it's been, and I don't know if transportation was ever at the top of the list until
hasn't.
things started breaking down.
Exactly. Transit has never been at the top of the priority for any elected official. So I think now is the time to make it a priority.